Where is he? Chris was supposed to be here for supper an hour ago. Some Prince Charming he turned out to be. I guess this is what I get for falling in love at first sight. I should have known that looks don't count for everything. But he had such a great body, and every time I saw it, I just couldn't help myself. Plus, my fairy godmother told me to marry him. She said that we were perfect for each other. Whatever that means. What she didn't say was that he's as dumb as a doornail. The only positive thing I believe I can truly say about him is that he's a great dancer. One of my few weaknesses. On our first date together, my fairy godmother told me to be home by midnight, and in order to keep my curfew, I had to run out of his castle. So I left my glass slipper in the parking lot with my address in it, so he could find me. I thought it would be so romantic when he came to my door with my glass slipper in his hand. But apparently, after spending an entire evening dancing with me, he couldn't even remember what I looked like. So we went from girl to girl across the kingdom, getting them to try on the shoe to see if it fit. How ridiculous is that? Does he think that I'm the only girl in the kingdom with a size 7 foot? Not to mention the fact that he didn't even bother to read the note I left in the shoe for him. He almost married 8 different women whose feet fit in the shoe. Good thing his butler remembered what I looked like, or else he'd be married to the wrong girl. But I can't be blamed for marrying him. That's what we did in those days. Though, I did almost marry Peter because of his looks. He had the most amazing teeth, probably because of all the pumpkins he ate. In the end, though, he did turn out to be a little crazy. After a not-so-pleasant experience, I became aware of his obsession with locking girls up in pumpkin shells. After that incident, I decided it would be best if we just stayed friends. But not all marriages based on love at first sight are unsuccessful. My friend Snow White is married. She's living happily ever after. Or maybe that apple caused more problems than we originally thought. Now I have to decide if I should let that reporter know about this state of affairs, this confusion I have right now. Do I allow him the chance to embellish my story even more, so that the rest of the world, and maybe, just maybe, Chris will understand as well? Or will this revelation that Chris and I are completely enthralled by each other and madly in love make matters worse? The truth can't always be the solution. Anyways, that reporter has caused quite enough trouble already. Oh, maybe I should explain. See, after Chris finally found me and announced that I was the one, this reporter became completely taken in by me and wouldn't let me be until he had learned every detail of my life. It was then that he learned the truth. Apparently, I was not nearly as exciting as he had first believed. So he completely deluded himself and created an entirely fictional version of my life before I met Chris. This would make people love me, he assured me. Ugh. Why did I get myself into this mess? Guess I should have read between the lines when I booked that appointment with my fairy godmother. Will make dreams come true. I should have realized she meant her own dreams. I didn't get the guy, so now I'll give you the chance to be with my ideal man. Story that your ideal man isn't exactly crazy about the ability to change animals into people and pumpkins into carriages. Although, what use could that do you anyways? You've probably heard it before, so I'll say it now. Forget anything you've ever been told. Listen to me, and I'll explain. You can choose to believe or not, but what I say is true. Okay, where to begin? Well, first of all, there's my origin. My father did not remarry an evil-hearted woman after my mother died giving birth to me. Yes, he did die when I was 3, and I was then raised by the next closest woman in my life, my nanny. She took me in, even though she already had her 2 other daughters to raise, and none of them were evil. We often argue about it, but I like to brag that I'm the loudest of the 3 of us. And about the chores? Yes, I did them all the time, but I still didn't do any more than anyone else in my family. Let's just say that my sisters were the substitute for the animals. I mean, singing animals. Please, who can take that version of my story seriously? And who likes chores? We only do them because we all realize they're a necessity. And where did I get my name from? Ha. Well, see, I used to create quite a fuss when I was still small. I'd climb into the fireplace when no one was looking and cover myself in the ashes. Hey, at least Cinderella is better than Cinderzilla. I wonder if he left me a message on my arm here. I got this for my birthday from my sisters. I really regret that they can't live in the castle with me to keep me company. But of course, Chris will have none of that. He's just too disgusted by their lack of feet. Well, it wasn't their fault that the kingdom doesn't seem to carry proper footwear. It's not their fault that after all our work their toes became infected with the fungus and had to be amputated. I just got lucky there. Chris's excuse for my near miss is that I'm just too beautiful and too blessed for any fungus to do any damage to my looks. I think a fungus is eating up his brain right now. Do you know what Chris got me for my birthday? A sword. What could I possibly do with a sword? Does he think that I just randomly go off into the woods and fight monsters? He hadn't even bothered to wash the blood off the hills. It was worse than that time that our house had to be fumigated because of the rodent infestation. Yes, there are rodents, but not singing ones. If anything, they made our work much worse. Oh look, I have one new message.
Dear Cindy, I know we were supposed to eat dinner together tonight, but Peter's asked me to go over to his castle and play fairy poker, so you can just eat without me. Love, your Prince Charming.
I'm starving. Waiting for it to show. Maybe I'll make sure he's locked out of the castle again tonight. Fortunately, there are some sane people in this mental system that share my opinions and could work for my benefit. Well, that's about the end of my sad tale. Hopefully it'll take something away from this, whether it's not to marry for love at first sight, or not to make stupid internet videos about your depressing life. So, learn from my mistakes, and take care.